Welcome back to my channel. I'm Rachel and I'm so happy to see you here. As the title suggests, this video is all about how to start your dream business and life today. These are, I think, some tips that maybe you haven't heard in other videos, so I hope that this is helpful to you. Now, if your dream life has anything to do with owning a private jet, maybe you might get that, but this is for the person that actually has a dream that is more rooted in a passion of yours, in knowledge that you have, in a desire to share more with the world. If that's you, I hope that you keep listening. First, before getting into the steps, if you do find any value in this video, I would so appreciate it if you could like it and also subscribe to this channel. I am on a personal mission to hitting 1,000 subscribers in a couple of months, so it means so much to me if you could help me get there. Alright, so here are just some insights and some ways of thinking when it comes to creating your dream business and life. And if you follow all the way to the end, there is an invitation to connect with me further. Okay, so have you ever had an idea? Something you've always wanted to execute on and create, but there was always something in the way. There was almost like this mental block or brick that stopped you from actually taking the steps you needed to create your dream. Perhaps you got really excited about something and it's a project that you wanted to create, business that you wanted to start, and that dream phase that you're in is just so electric. You can just see the vision and all of the possibilities and the ideas are just generating so freely in this dream phase. When it came time to actually sit down and work on that dream, all of these blockers came into the picture. You didn't have the right website, you didn't have the right logo, you didn't have the right equipment, and all of these other things and ideas and steps and process and operations came flowing into the picture, which actually prohibited you from carrying through those dreams. Then when the time came to actually sit down and execute and start creating those dreams, you're like, shoot, there's so many things I don't know. I don't have the right equipment. I don't know all of the steps. I don't know the operations. And there's just so many things that I didn't think about. This is so hard. If that's you, raise your hand, and I'm gonna go ahead and raise my hand too, because that has happened to me on several occasions. And guess what? It's happened to everybody. And you know why? It's because we're all human. This is what happens when anyone wants to actualize anything into reality, especially when it's something that's really important to us because we care. There's some actions in our lives that take zero or minimal effort or energy. They're almost second nature to us, whether it's going to check the mail, washing the dishes, even something like going to work. These are all things that we have to do. We have incorporated it into our everyday lives and routine. So when it comes to those actions, we don't necessarily think too deeply about them. We think of those things as things that we have to do to live, and it's a part of everyday life. But sometimes when we are up to big things, when we're up to things that are truly something that we are passionate about or something that is really interesting to us, things that are possibly outside of the norm of your everyday life and in things that we aren't used to necessarily, that is naturally going to take more energy. Riding a bike wasn't easy when you first got on the bike. Learning how to drive a car wasn't easy when you first put your foot on the gas pedal. And I don't know why both of those are transportation related, but that's just what's coming to my mind right now. The point is, when you're up to something new, it takes more energy and it takes more patience. So these blocks that you have in your mind as you start to create your dream business and life, these blocks are normal. Rather than getting overwhelmed by the blocks and stopping there, recognize when it shows up. That is always the first step to moving forward on the journey that you are trying to actualize for yourself. The next tip or insight, I guess you can call it, is knowing your why. And I talk a lot about this actually in my video on how to start a podcast. One of the tips that I mention in there is knowing your why of why you want to start the podcast, or having a better understanding of what you want to talk about. But knowing your why is so important. Why is this project so important to you? Why do you want to create this business, or why do you have a specific vision for how you want to create your life? What is the importance of this? What is the overall meaning for you behind all of it? I actually have an exercise that I do with my coaching clients around this where I help identify what those intentions are for people. Because once you know what your life intentions are and you know exactly exactly what that purpose is for your life, that is going to bring so much more ease and so much more clarity into your why and where you should be focusing your energy. Communication and using my voice has been something that has always been important to me in some way. I've always had so many ideas, so much curiosity in terms of the art of storytelling that I really needed a vessel or some sort of container to be able to house and hold all of these things. And fast forward to today, where I have the You Are Here podcast, where I share stories from people who are taking unconventional paths in life in hopes to inspire and empower other people to do the same so that they live in more alignment. But because I know that this is so important to me, my why is very clear in terms of why I create, why I have a podcast, why I have all of these different outlets and modes of communication. So knowing your why can really help fuel and give you that focused energy that you need to go ahead and create what it is that you desire. So now once you have acknowledged and recognized what those blocks are, you know what your why is, now you actually have to set goals. In the corporate and business world, we're always talking about stretch goals. Everything needs to be a stretch, something that's far out of reach, and it really helps push the team and push the business to strive for more. And it actually creates sort of a stressful, pressure-filled type of environment because we're always wanting more. There's so many big goals that we have when it comes to corporations and business and in our work. But what would happen if when we create our own dreams and create our own life, one that we desire, what if those goals weren't a stretch? What if those goals were small? What if those goals were sweet? What if they were joy-filled? What could that do for us? That would give us the continuous refill of energy because we would be creating small, sweet steps along the way to ultimately creating that dream vision that we have for ourselves. But along the way, we have these sweet goals that we can take that actually makes the journey so much more fun. So instead of focusing our life and our goals on something that's a stretch and so far out of reach and it actually feels a bit heavy, what would happen if our goals were actually sweet, joyful, and fun? Let's think of a goal, for example, that is pretty common and universal for a lot of people. So for many people, they say they want to lose 5 pounds and their goal is to lose 5 pounds in the next month. That to me doesn't sound joyful. That to me sounds like it would be a lot of work. It sounds like there's a lot of just activity that doesn't necessarily feel like it's something that I'm looking forward to. It sounds like if I have to lose weight, I have to restrict myself. I have to go tirelessly, spend hours in the gym doing exercises that I don't even know are helping. But what if instead of the goal being I want to lose 5 pounds in a month, what if that goal was actually flipped around and it was joyful? So instead of focusing on losing the weight, focus on the joy and the fun that could be created, and as a byproduct, you would lose weight. So for example, I have really started to enjoy pickleball. I don't play nearly as much, but one joyful activity that I could actually do is, let's say if losing weight was my goal, I could say that my goal is to play pickleball with my friends twice a week for the next month. And in doing that, I'm creating a really healthy habit, but it's also something where I'm doing an activity that I really enjoy. It also gives me a sense of community and connection by playing with my friends. And by creating this goal so that it's more so focused on the joy and the activity, I'm also, as a byproduct, likely going to lose weight as well because that's something where you're moving around, you're sweating, you're being really active. So as you think about your goals and as you think about the thing that you want to create for yourself, see how you can somehow make it a small, sweet step so that you, one, achieve it, and two, create it in such a way that it adds more joy to your life. So I hope that makes sense. I would actually really love to know what some of your goals are and what you'd like to create for your business, for your life, and what is this intention that you have out in the world that maybe you haven't necessarily created it yet and it's just been in your head, but you're so excited about it. Go ahead and let me know in the comments what you are excited to create for yourself. And as an invitation, I am opening up one-on-one coaching clients. This is something that I'm actually really excited about. I have some private clients where where I do some coaching, and I'm finally ready to open up discovery calls. So if you would like to set up some time with me, I have a link in the description so that we can chat and see if maybe we might be a good fit. I would be so honored, and I would absolutely love to support you in creating this dream business and life for yourself. I hope that this video helped you and that these tips help you in making sense of some of those early beginning steps. It's time to finally let that vision out into reality and create the dream life for yourself, because there's no better time than to create your dream than now.